Hello everyone, welcome along to this week's Friday preview show where we're looking ahead to one of the best away days on the slate, Notts County away, following right now one of the league's worst form teams on the road. So what could possibly go wrong? I'm Julian Roberts, pleasure to have you all. I'm joined by Matt Caspell, who was giving me, just as we were logging in, a running commentary of Neil Harris's press conference, which was very entertaining, I've got to say.
Mate, he loves the group. We knew this anyway, but it's always just good to get it reconfirmed every now and then. Man loves a group, the group of footballers.
He loves saying the football club as well.
He does. I don't think he clocked many of those. We were group heavy. I've only watched the first 3 minutes because, for context, despite the fact that it's Friday, in the sort of Friday, it's also despite that it's Friday. It's also sort of not Friday. It's very much the time that the press conference has just come out.
It's very much definitely 4 p.m. on a Thursday, but
100%. Literally, the press has landed. We don't know who's injured. We don't know who's fit. We're going on vibes.
We're just going on pure vibes.
I didn't watch the Bromley game. Literally, this is just all vibes at this point.
What's much Notts County?
Historically, yeah, no, not really. No.
I do think, though, by the way, you're onto something with a Neil Harris press conference drinking game. I think is honestly something we should patent. That could be some serious. I mean, we might cause a few deaths if we do what would go on there? On the grass, the group, the football club. Yeah. A total negligence to medical science, I think, has got to go on there.
I mean, self-references as well.
Yeah.
Third person Neil Harris reference. That's got to be. That's like the full house of the bingo. That's the dream when that lands. And he could have done it all in this press conference, but we just don't know, do we?
We don't know. Well, that's entertaining, isn't it? I know you didn't. You said you didn't. Should we talk about football, or do you want to keep talking about the press conference for a bit longer?
I'll just talk about. There we go. We got Gibbons did the player interview. I'm sure you can all seek that out. I should bet that's an absolute. I was going to say a page turner. Is that a thing?
Sort of visual page turner. Yeah. Let's talk about. Let's bring it to something that's a bit more entertaining than a James Gibbons press conference, which is Cambridge United's current inconsistency. You mentioned you didn't watch the Bromley game. We talked about it a little bit on the review show. But we do currently have best home form in the league, but the 20th best away form, above basically the bottom four. We've got Notts next. Obviously, we're going to talk about that in a second. And then Salford after that with the cup in the middle. Can you see us turning that around starting Saturday?
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? It's tough, isn't it? I mean, I guess, again, back to cliches, but it's like win your homers. We're doing the home part of the assignment pretty well. I think I said on the pod a few weeks ago when we were talking about the away form, I think it was after the Shrewsbury game, so I was raging. But I think I'd worked out based on our away PPG at that time, we would need our home PPG to be 2.44 to offset the lowly away points return that we've had so far. I guess it's happening, right? I mean, it's actually happening. So we're not far off hitting that number, I think, at home. We must be close.
I'm just going to work it out. You talk.
We've got to be pretty close to it. I think we're about 2.2. That's my guess, looking at trying to do the maths in my head.
Keep talking.
Yeah, but mate, it's just a calculator. It's not hard. How sustainable that is as home form, I guess, is what's up for debate. I've sort of, again, I've said over pods in the last few weeks, I'm sort of walking away from this narrative that we've had an easier run of games and there's a hard run of games coming in the round, because I just think that's just true of 16 to 18 of the teams in League Two, and particularly at home. I just looking now at the league table and just thinking there's nobody to fear at home, genuinely, nobody. It's funny, isn't it? Because if you, as a game going fan, as we both are, and we're obviously often Notts County on Saturday, I was just wondering aloud, would you flip it on its head? Would you tolerate? Let's say you could just reverse our form. So our away form, we're top of the away form table. We've had 16 points from 7 games, basically winning almost all of our away games. But you have to tolerate terrible home form, which will obviously cause a lot of disgruntlement, because a lot of our fan base obviously only sees a home game. They don't see the away games, or
Yeah.
sporadic. So would
I
you
would
take it? Would you
I
have
would
it?
say I'd take it from an entertainment perspective. Would have had much more fun if it was the other way around in terms of how good those away days would have been.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think then in the cold light of day on a Sunday, you'd look at it and it would feel unsustainable as form because away form feels for some reason more unsustainable than home form. So I'd kind of be worried when I was being serious, but more worried, but much more entertained. So to answer your question, I feel like at this point in the season, I probably would take it
Let's flip it.
from a purely selfish perspective. I think I would. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let's flip it. We
You?
should have lost. We should have lost against Bromley, basically. Set
Yeah.
ourselves up for a big away win at Notts.
Would you take it?
Probably, I guess. I think it would piss a lot of people off because most people wouldn't see the away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'd start to lose your home crowds maybe, and I think it would be more problematic, obviously.
Yeah.
So maybe it's better this way. I think all we're asking for, and I think you summed it up really well on the review pod, was just like take the opportunities when they're there. So like
Mm.
Shrewsbury was obviously poor. We covered that on the review pod, but it's also like it was dead, wasn't it? As in, like, you
Yeah.
could tell after 30 minutes, 40 minutes, when they scored the second goal, like, we're done here. Like, it's fine. This is not the afternoon where we get a points return for an away game, almost certainly. Tranmere was the one you said, and I absolutely agree. It's like, go there and just win the game because then you can tolerate, you can forgive, like, go to Shrewsbury and throw in a stinker, like, a couple of stinkers away, totally fine. If you're, 12th in the away form table, top of the home form table, that's going to net you out to, like, third or fourth, fifth in the league, most likely. So it's like, I think that's the problem. I think you summed it up really well. Like, it's not what we did at Shrewsbury that was bad, and you obviously don't want to see a repeat of that. I guess it's the fact we've only won one away game, right? I didn't see it. So did it really happen? So I've not seen us win away for ages, and I haven't seen us win away much at all. Neither has anyone because of obviously all of the League One time, I guess, all the way back to our first season in League One. We basically haven't really won many away games. If you stretch it back over 4 years, 3.5 years, then
Yeah.
pretty lean in terms of the time, effort, energy, costs, and all the rest. So,
Well, this calendar year, what is it? 3? Colchester,
I mean,
Huddersfield,
oh
Crawley.
yeah, Huddersfield. I forgot about Huddersfield and Crawley. Yeah, that was good. To be fair,
I think that's it though.
that could be it.
We are approaching the 11th month of the year, and we're talking about 3 away wins. So, like, yeah, that's your point, right? It's like not many people have seen us do this stuff. So,
Yeah. So, like, in short, no, I'm not sure it's going to turn around. I don't know, really. I mean, again, last time I was on the pod, I think I was feeling pretty down because it was after the Shrewsbury game, but I was sort of speculating that because we're having a run of away games coming up, was it going to all start to look a bit, funny? The win against Bromley was quite important, I think, because it set us off into the away games, like, nicely up the table, so much so that we could take, 1 or no points in these 2 away games, and we'd probably still be in, like, decent shape. It's just still a thing, isn't it? We have not won league back-to-back games this season. It's gonna really plague us, if you know what I mean. I just think it's gonna.
We haven't done anything back to back. We haven't drawn back to back games.
We're not drawn. We're not done anything back to back.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, we could lose back to back. If we lose the next 2, that would be something.
True.
No. Again, though, it's just like we've said it so many times on the pod this season. It's a bit like, what are the expectations? Where do we think we actually should be? I haven't seen us play many teams and thought, "Wow, they were really good." We've just been absolutely done here. And you've said it plenty of times on the pod. Like, League Two does just chug out pretty random results, and I would go as far as to say, like, us beating Notts on Saturday would probably qualify for that. I think it would be a little bit against expectation. Obviously, their form at home is pretty similar to ours, so they are quite an imperious team in that sense. We just got to go, and I think I hope try and be a bit more positive. But I've got a feeling on Saturday it will be the opposite, if you know what I mean. I think it might be quite, we'll say boring, but we'll be quite negative.
Harris.
I think quite Harris. Yeah, it's one way of describing it. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think that's reasonable.
I may as well ask this question now because I had it a bit further down the running order. But is there anything in the idea that will actually suit him, in the sense of, it's the type of away game that suits how he likes setting up. So, for example, that point you just made about Tranmere, which we've discussed off the pod so many times, that's the sort of game where you set up differently. I'm sure you win it, but it's not the way that Harris instinctively wants to set up away from home. Whereas Grimsby is a great example of the opposite, where you go to probably a better side than Notts County as well. I mean, I've not seen much of either of them, but just from what I read, and you set up defensively to score on the break, and it kind of plays into our hands. Is there something in that for these two aways that can give you a bit of positivity?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was we previewed. I think we previewed the Grimsby game, Jules.
Yeah, we did,
before we went to it, and we were saying exactly that, weren't we? It's like, actually, could this work for us? Like, is it the right kind of fixture with the expectation actually on the home team to probably dominate the game? So I hope you're right. I hope that's how it works. I don't know so much that'll be the case at Salford. I've just got a feeling with Salford without knowing a huge amount. Obviously, they're pretty decent side and decent form. Is like you just got to go there and try and get a point at Salford. I think that is just like take all the life out of the game and just let it be this sort of weird non-leaguey ground.
Yeah,
experience and just like be smart and just get the result that you're able to get there with a point. I do feel like Notts probably will be similar to Grimsby in the sense they will have like it's a bigger ground, bigger home crowd, a bit more expectation from them. They've obviously in really good home form again, so it's like I think even though we are probably, they'll say it's Cambridge, they came down last year and they're doing all right this year. They'll look at our away form and just think there's no reason that they shouldn't be coming and winning that game, basically. So yeah, maybe it could play into our hands. I hope you're right.
Yeah, for sure. Any favourite Notts County memories before we get a preview?
I think I missed that crazy game. I think when Uche scored that like
the 3-3 or whatever it was.
Yeah, like is it 3-3 or 3-2, something like that. I missed that one. I don't know why I missed that one. Greg Taylor goal at Notts County, that was the £1 ticket game. So we had sold like 15, 16, 1700 or something, and they obviously had a home crowd like 15,000. It's a terrible game of football. They were like bottom of the league by a distance, and we were
terrible that year.
We were awful that year as well. So it was like, sort of spectacle to football match quality, like massive mismatch, if you know what I mean. But Taylor got his goal and just nabbed our way out there with a 1-0.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but I mean, we had such a good day out that day. It was just me and you getting the train from London.
Oh, is that when I fell asleep?
Fell asleep instantly on the
just
train.
Like bang.
Woke up at St Pancras, like,
as quick as Neil Harris saying the group in a presser. Literally, like someone. I remember this. Someone like, I don't think we bigged it up. I just got in my head like me, like, oh man, trade Jenny home, going to be sweet. 1-0 win. Like 6 beers or something, then just like bang. Lights out. Oh, I do remember that. I didn't remember that was Notts, but you poor bastard end up on a train just for me on 101. Yeah.
Well, it was a nice bit of peace and quiet, mate. It's better than you didn't wake. Anyway, let's get a preview of this year's version of the fixture with Tom from Notts County Talk. Right then, delighted to be joined by Thomas from Notts County Talk to get a bit of a preview of our opponents Saturday. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Cheers for having me on. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Thanks for coming on. I was just having a little look at the table just before doing this, and kind of surprised me to see Notts up in 8th. For some reason, I feel like you've gone a bit under the radar. Not that I think you've played particularly badly, but maybe not a team that pre-season were highly fancied, but have started pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, over the last 10 games, we're top of the form table, 20 points for a possible 30. No one had any hope for us at the start of the season. Basically, I don't know how much you've seen of it. The new model that we've come out and said we have a technical board that basically help make decisions. I think a lot of clubs have that, but we just made it public, which is a bit stupid in my opinion, because it puts a target on your back. And then the fact we got Martin Patterson, who was Burton manager and said he saved Burton from relegation despite taking them from 19th to, I think it was 20th or 21st, and saving them on the last day despite, I think, a 3-0 loss. So people had no hope for us, but it's going pretty well.
Yeah, it's amazing. What's the without spending 10 minutes talking about it, maybe is it possible to get a little bit of an overview of what that setup is at Notts County? Because I do remember it catching a few headlines when you hired Patterson.
Yeah. Well,
Is that a
we,
tricky
we,
one?
we've had a head, our owners came in when we got relegated, and they've had a head coach. We had Luke Williams, obviously famously in that season with Wrexham, and then we had Stuart Maynard, who was sacked after getting us to the playoff semi-final last year. But apparently, they've always had this in their mind. Basically, long story short, they wanted a whole board making decisions rather than just a manager. So two assistant managers, Sam Slocum, our old goalkeeping coach, and then Andy Edwards, who's worked, with England youth setups. The owners are on the board themselves, which is never a good idea in my opinion, and the head of like the head of football operations, director of football, something like that, who is now left anyway after a really poor transfer window. It looked like, and yeah, I don't know any more than that, other than it seems to be working so far, but I'm not sure how long it'll work for. If we go on a 4 or 5 game losing run, then what happens? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Interesting to know, like the accountability where that ends up lying a little bit. Yeah. What about Patterson? How's it? I mean, you just said top of the 10 game form table, so things opinion must be pretty high of him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when he was appointed, everyone thought we were going to get Luke Williams back out of the job. Everyone thought, go for Ian Evatt, things like that, because you've just lost a playoff semi-final. You're obviously a decent side. At that point, we had David McGoldrick still. We have Jody Jones. These players, Jatta, who was linked with a big money move to Plymouth, and then it takes a month to appoint someone, and then we were hearing so many names as you do running a podcast, and these names were coming and going, and they were going to other clubs. And then someone messages and said it's Martin Patterson, and no one believed it because why would it be Martin Patterson? And then it was, and basically the whole fan base was against it, massively against it. You build up in your head Lou Williams back or Ian Evatt or something like that, and he's very, very, very intense. We had him on the podcast. The club were lucky enough to give us a half-hour interview with him, and he's very intense. The least media trained manager in the league as well. Um, and the players have responded to him really well. I didn't think it would work. I mean, I went to watch us against Barnsley in the whatever the Virtue Trophy, and the players are literally that have not played all season were running through brick walls for him. And we beat Barnsley. It's going really well, and the fans were singing his name for one of the first times all season after our draw against Swindon.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that game Tuesday night because I think I'm right in saying you were 2-1 up and like heading like third or fourth, right? What was the story of that game?
We didn't. I'm not sure we deserve to win it, but when you lead twice in a game away from home, it feels gutting that you don't come away with the victory. We were pretty good. We played the game plan well. We hit them on the break, and then two really poor goals. The second goal, I don't like to blame refs. The ref gave a free kick. No one really knew it was for. We didn't reset properly from the free kick because we were sort of like, what's gone off? And they went up the other end and scored. I mean, they've got a top scorer in the league, haven't they, in Drinnen at the minute. So yeah, I would have been delighted to get the win, but also we picked up 4 points from 2 games away at Barnet, who are no pushovers, and away at Swindon, who apart from the Accrington loss are flying high. So like, I can't complain with 4 points from 2 away games in the space of 3 days.
Yeah, absolutely. What about the players themselves then? You've mentioned a couple there. What sort of who are the players that United fans should be looking out for, and what sort of system do you set up in? What's the expected formation?
So it's like a 3-4-2-1
Okay.
with Tyrese Hall on loan from Spurs behind Jatta up front. I don't know how much you know, but League Two fans would have known last year we had George Abbott on loan from Spurs, and he was like the best thing we've seen on loan since Jack Grealish way back when we had him. Tyrese Hall's come in, he's got five goals in his last six, I think. Gets assists as well. Got the late winner against Barnet. He's great, really, really good. Jody Jones has not hit anywhere near the same form since breaking a bone in his foot the start of last season against Gillingham, which is a bit worrying. I mean, he's had so many injuries in his career. So I would have always said watch out for Jones, but it's not really the case at the minute. So it's Tyrese Hall, and I would say as well, keep an eye out. Not really a flair player, but Scott Robertson in the midfield, really, really good player. As soon as he came back from injury as well, we're a completely different side. So they're my two to watch.
Yeah. What about the other way around? If you were on the scouting side for the scouting team, sorry, for Neil Harris, what weaknesses might you point out in County setup?
Um, Set pieces. We're still not great at set pieces. I mean, we've got better, but there was a point where I think we're 4 or 5 games in and we conceded from a set piece in every game. Um, we used to be caught out by passing it around at the back. There's a famous video of when we played Shrewsbury in the FA Cup 2 years ago, and like all 3 goals went viral from the same player. It was horrendous. So we're not as bad passing it out from the back anymore. The other thing is, if you want to stop us going forward, the plan seems to be just double up on our wing backs, and they're completely ineffective. He changed, he's changed both wing backs the last 2 games because then they're not doing anything, and that kind of kills our 2 attacking outlets. So that's what I would say. Also, just pressure our goalkeeper, Kel Roos. He's played all right the last 2 games, but we're not going anywhere with him in goal. We massively, massively need an upgrade. I mean, our director of football that I've already mentioned has left. He signed Kel Roos because he knew him. That's literally, he said he knew him.
No way.
The guy used to be at Derby, Kel Roos, and we signed him from a side that finished 4th from bottom in Serie C, which is regionalised Italian football. So he's like, you'll see, he will kick the ball out of play 5 or 6 times. He'll give you the ball 3 or 4 times. He will not. He's been told to not claim any crosses. He has to punch now. He's our biggest weakness, and I hate to call players out, but he is.
It's quite, it's music to my ears to hear that the weakness is a goalkeeper as well. It's always, that's.
Well, we had Alex Bass last year, who we then sold for 400,000 to Peterborough, and it's like we've had a goalkeeping issue ever since the owners came in, and they finally got this goalkeeper in. But in League Two, you're not turning down 400,000 for a goalkeeper, massive profit, and there's got to be better. There's got to be better keepers available on a free transfer now. There has to be.
Yeah,
but that's what we're stuck with.
You'd be pleased to know that I just thought I'd look at the numbers quickly, but of our 16 goals we've scored this season, 11 have been from set pieces. So that might be a little bit of a battleground on Saturday. What's your prediction for the game?
If we win, 7 points this week, 2 away games, and then obviously sales coming to Meadow Lane would be incredible. We're on a good run, and I think, like you said, right, I think we're going under the radar because no one predicted us to do well. A lot of teams. A lot of other content creators and well-known sort of League Two sort of experts, Gab Sutton, you might know, predicted like mid-table or to lower bottom mid-table. So I think we're going to go under the radar. I don't want to be in the top 3 yet because it never does well. So I think we're just going to tick along nicely. I think I would take a draw. I would definitely take a draw. And I know it's that weird at home, but I just think we need to keep momentum going. I'm going to say 2-1 knots.
Yeah, I knew you were going to turn that into a win.
But you'll score from a set piece. Our keeper will flap at it. But I just think at the minute Tyrese Hall is so good that we're starting to see why we signed him from Spurs, and Spurs fans said he was so highly rated. So I think he'll get a goal, and I think Jata will bundle the ball in somehow like he does every time.
Yeah, it feels like you come into it with a good bit of momentum in front of home fans. It's a tricky ask for us, so I totally get that as a prediction. Last question, which may be putting you on the spot a little bit, but there's obviously a few thousand, or I'm not sure the exact number, but at least 1,200 United fans heading on Saturday. Is there any good pubs in town that you'd recommend for a pre-match sip?
Well, on our show, we always ask fans like what their favourite away days in League Two are. And loads say Nottingham because there's a Hooters about 5 minutes walk from the ground, and everybody says that. And it's right near the train station, so it's on the walk from the train station to the ground. So I'd just say, just go
Hooters.
for that. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Brilliant, that's great, Tom. Thanks very much, mate. Thanks very much, Tom. Interesting that they seem quite buoyed at the moment is the word I'd use. They come off the back of a last minute, very smashy, grabby win at Barnet, which obviously must have been a laugh. And then they got a point at Swindon on Tuesday night, having actually been 2-1 up with about 10 to go, which he described as like, you hear there, a bit frustrating, but still you got to take a point. 4 points from those 2 away games is good, and then you've got the home game on Saturday to kind of back it up. So to the point we were talking about just before the preview, I think they will come into it with a bit of momentum and thinking, well, we can back up our home form here. And I guess it sort of plays into our hands that League Two doesn't really like follow those sorts of form table and the Harris factor. In general, they've had quite a similar start to us, really. Even just in the fact that they're not hugely fancied by your sort of, your Gab Suttons and you're not the top 20s. No one backed them really to do particularly well, but they are kind of sneaking under the radar. Us and them have the two lowest XG conceded numbers in the whole league. They've also only lost once at home, like us, to Salford, but that was the second game of the season. Since then, they've actually won 4, drawn 1. It's basically the exact same record as us at home, although they've played a game less. And in the last 3 home games, they've scored 8 and conceded 1.
That's where the differences start.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're putting teams away. Eh? They beat Crawley 4-0 at home.
4-0,
Just can't picture us beating someone at home 4-0 anytime soon, basically.
But 3 points is 3 points, Caspell. That's the important thing.
3 points is 3 points. That's what
do you
they
think.
always
Do you
say.
think we'll take 3 or 1 on Saturday?
Or
0.
Or 0, yeah. Or look, the numbers are there, right? I mean, it's funny how you can play a team that has identical home form to us, which they do. Obviously, it's the game short. And feel so confident they'll beat us based on that home form, and yet feel so not confident that we'll win our own home games, even though it's identical numerically, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No, like, to be honest, I feel the same. I feel very similar to how I felt before that Grimsby game, in that, like, this can totally play into our hands. It seems like he gave them, I know it was a big change over a team, but he gave them a bit of a rocket after the Vertu on Tuesday. He spoke about that a bit at the start of the presser and the 3 minutes that I did catch with the presser. So I guess, again, he'll be looking for a reaction. It'd be big. This would be one of those, it's that sort of time of year now, isn't it? Where if you go and win if we go and win this game and we do it well, let's say, maybe even nab like a 2-0 or something that's pretty convincing, suddenly you'll be saying, oh, well, we have won back-to-back league games. Immediately our away form will just look so much better. Like, I know we're low in that away league table. I imagine, like any league table, particularly because there's half the number of games, a win would put us, I don't know where without looking.
That's what I was
14th or 13th or something in the away league table. And suddenly you're like, oh, it's fine. Suddenly your away PPG like leaps up. So,
well, I was even just the actual table. Like you take 3 points Saturday, probably end up 6th or 5th. I would imagine a point or two outside the top 3. I know we're early days, but it's almost it's weird because we'd end up there. Despite it kind of sometimes feeling like we haven't started.
That's what we've said all along, right? It's like, it's the same for you lads after the Bromley game, which was like, wasn't like massively convincing in the second half, but they'd only lost the game all season. Like, we beat whatever you think about Bromley. I know, like, we obviously, it feels a bit big time. They feel like a sort of non-league upstarty style club. It's like, it doesn't really matter because they are like a good mid-table, high mid-table League Two team, and you can only beat what is put in front of you. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's got to like park some of those things. I think you're right. Like, again, I just feel like if we win this one, if we can win this one, then it's a bit of a statement, isn't it? Because sort of, there's a couple of things still kind of hanging around for us. One is like lack of statement home win. 2 is that we haven't won back-to-back league games. 3 is that the away form isn't good at all, to be honest. I was going to say not great, but
terrible,
not good at all. And you can start to sort of right quite a few of those wrongs quite quickly. I mean, if you somehow take 4 points from the 2 games, so you Salford away as well, then you'd be saying that's like a really positive return, and that's us putting a statement down to be definitely like a playoff contending team, basically.
And it's funny, isn't it? We're doing all of that, and despite the fact that, it's at times has felt like we've done more kind of picking apart the bones of a bad performance or a poor result on the pod than the opposite. Because, like you say, without that statement home win, even when we're winning, it's like, yeah, good, but like, are we good? There's been that whole question this whole season, like, are we any good? And someone asked me, like, someone I was chatting to was like, how Cambridge started then? And I was like, I'm not really, like, fine. I don't really know how to answer that. Like, it depends kind of how you look at it. But one thing, Caspell, which we spoke about a few weeks ago, was me and you both had us predicted, I think, 12th and 11th, something like that.
I said 14th.
Oh, 14th. Okay.
Yeah.
But mid-table, right, for the sake of the point.
Yeah.
I think it would be, I would describe, if we're saying like the start to the season, let's say Saturdays are, what's Saturday? Our 14th game. Okay, let's say that's the start to the season, just for the sake of argument. And we say we finish it 6th in the playoffs. I'd say that's a better start than I expected us to have, at least by position.
You're calling this first 14 as like the first section.
Yeah.
I suppose you can run it all the way up to Salford.
Because it's
BST.
it
is the end of BST. Yeah. That's true. Oh, geez, yeah.
That's a marker in the sand, mate.
That
is as good as we're going to get.
Because we're totally fucked once the clocks go back. I think you run that all the way through to Salford, right? Not to ruin your point, because then you're 15 games and you're a third of the way, right?
Fine.
End of Salford is a third. Well,
yeah, sure.
A third of the way to the next game is actually a third. If you want to get really pedantic.
Okay, right. So we'll stop at the 30th minute mark. And
then we'll assess. We can record. We'll take the travelling mics. And
Brilliant.
We'll form a judgment in real time. Grade the season in 5 seconds. 5, 4, go. No, mate, I'm with you. Like, look, even if you could take even 3 points, 4 would be amazing. Even 2 is probably okay, because you just look at it like, right, that is very solid. Like, we have gone to 2 difficult away trips and we have not lost either of those games. Like, I can live with 2 points genuinely from these 2. If it's, well, I mean, it would have good qualities too, because it would have to. It's one of those funny, individually, if you take either Notts County or Salford away, you'd probably say you would take a point.
Yeah.
It's just when you put them back to back and you say it's only going to be 2 points the next 2 games, feels a little bit different. But it's, again, it sort of sounds weird to go all the way back to that Tranmere game and be like, just go and win that game, because you're like, right, we'll beat the bottom half teams away. Mm-hmm. We're going to draw against the top half teams away.
And we'll just win
most of our homers, basically. So we're absolutely sorted. Do you know what I mean, though? But that, And on that basis, a playoffy automatic promotion push is formed, right? So it's like, we literally got no reason not to go there and give it a bit of a go.
I think the biggest thing with Saturday as well, to talk about the game specifically, is what Tom mentions there about the set pieces. As soon as I asked him what the weaknesses were, the first thing he said was set pieces.
That's great, isn't it?
Which is, you couldn't hear better news from an opposition fan. As I mentioned, FOTMob have our 16 goals, 11 of them from set pieces.
That is insane.
Which is pretty mad, yeah.
That is insane. And Tuesday night, the Ver 2, that was all set piece, mate. All set piece. Even the second stringer's got the set pieces sorted.
I mean, that does play right into our hands, doesn't it? You can see how Harris will be preparing us to, how he'll want to try and attack them based on that.
I mean, I hope you're right. The problematic piece, and this is probably true again, I was obsessed with this Tranmere game. It's rent-free in my head. Well, same with Shrewsbury. We didn't win any set pieces. It's like you can't form your entire approach to an away game on the basis that you're good at set pieces if you then don't win any set pieces. And I just really think, particularly the Shrewsbury game, we just didn't, and Tranmere we didn't really. So it's like, if the plan is to smash the ball at like Lavery and Kouassi's heads, or solo striker, whatever we're not doing, we're going to launch the ball at him, then we're not going to win any set pieces. Like, there won't be any set pieces to score from. So it's like, there needs to be a bit more of a thought process into how we're actually going to progress the ball up the pitch. It's something I just don't think we've done very well this season, even at home, but definitely away. Is like, who's running with the ball? Who's taking us from, edge of our box to edge of their box? No one really. Like,
can I propose?
Yeah, go on.
Can I propose how, on that exact point, I would
Let's do it? Go on. I've got an idea.
Set up. I'm thinking you start 1 up top, not 2.
Yeah, I agree with that.
My thinking being start Kouassi.
I agree with that as well.
For a bit of a physical presence, if we are probably playing without the ball for most of the game. 3 in behind him, Kai in behind Kouassi, but as an attacking midfielder. Brophy and Mayer on either wing. So there's a point about 2 players. Try and get them to hug the touchline, so we're progressing the ball up the wings, because we've also got long throw to bear in mind here as well, which is an important with Mayer's long throw.
Yeah.
And then this is the one that I can't imagine he'd do, but Liam Bennett playing right back would be the other option to progress you up the pitch. Another player who can do that. He's not going to do that, obviously.
Can't see that after Tuesday, mate.
No. I didn't watch that, but yeah, I did hear that.
Not great from Bennett. Not great, mate. He had an opportunity there, as did a few others, and they didn't really meet the mark, if that makes sense. I thought Corey Smith also had a pretty honking 45 minutes on Tuesday night, which, in that profile of game, that's just not really a good look, if you know what I mean. So, and I know we're a bit thin on centre midfield department. Is Ball still injured? Is he back?
No, ball's fine. Ball
fine.
Ball played Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, of course he did. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
This is what happens when you don't pay attention and miss the game entirely.
Well, what do you think to that?
Yeah.
Let's do lineups then while we're doing this.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't hate it. You know, I'm obsessed with 5-3-2. So it's like I'm on commission for 5-3-2. So there's like a sort of similar. I'm with you, to be fair, on this one. Ignore 5-3-2 because I'm totally on one up top. 5-3-2 only benefit is obviously it gives you the wing backs, which should give you the width. Here's one I want to hit you with. And this is not what I'm suggesting we do, but it's something I'm interested in. And this will sound mental because we've got like a well-packed centre midfield is supposed to be our good department.
Yeah. I know. I think I know what you're going to say, but go on.
No, I'm not sure you do. But I would have either Brophy or Mayer playing in centre mid.
I thought you were going to say Brophy centre mid.
I was obsessed with it last season as well.
Yeah,
for the exact reason that if you're pairing with like either Pelly or Ball, which you are at the moment, I think Smith probably from Tuesday will be sat. Then put a ball carrier near him and give them the brief and say, look, your job is to progress the ball up the pitch. You know, it's not the easiest thing, but it's like make that. If you do one thing in this football match, it's like do that. It probably would be Brophy because I think by all the numbers and from the eye test is something he is quite good at.
Yeah.
Don't think we'll do that as a demo in an away game. I'd be slightly surprised by that. I also think to do that, you would then have to play two up top. So I'm actually, to be honest, your suggested lineup, such a cop out. I think your suggested lineup makes a lot of sense. I think it will be Gibbons.
Yeah.
I think it will be Purrington, obviously.
Definitely.
To be fair to Purrington, he showed up, right? I mean,
yeah, he did.
Obviously got involved in the goal against Bromley, but also just by all accounts had himself like quite a good game and was actually quite attacking and progressive, which obviously we haven't seen so far. So
yeah, for sure. And then you also, when you line up like that, you can give Kai a little bit more of a license to kind of roam, which I think if you're playing on the break, maybe is good. And then Brophy and Mayer either side as your sort of outlets, anywhere in their third, winning free kicks, corners, long throws. The other weakness that he pointed out is their keeper, who they signed, I didn't realise this, from a club who finished fourth bottom of the Italian Serie C last year, which is regionalised like semi-professional football.
That's bad, isn't it?
And he was saying like, you know, it's terrible to like to sort of pick on a player, but like the guy's bad. So probably also have a few digs, I reckon. Yeah, it's classic Sunday League tactics, but why not?
Who is this guy? I feel like I've heard of him. Who else has he played for? Kelly Roos, Triestina, Derby. Mostly Derby.
It's quite a sort of it's a great career move just to pop to Serie C for a little bit. Go on, what's your score prediction, Caspell?
Oh God. Is now a good time, firstly, to remind everyone I haven't seen us win away. And secondly, I'm not bottom anymore, but I think I'm second bottom in Moosenet. It might be, still second bottom. So I'm not very good at this. So what do I need to do? I need to predict. I think Notts County will win 2-0, and I will put that in my Moosenet now. Lock it in.
I like where you're going. I like where you're going with this because you're thinking.
Well, because I can't predict.
Exactly.
I'm hopeless at predicting. So we'll probably get done 4-0 at this bit.
Yeah, sure. I was hoping you were going to say United win. I actually think we're going to win. I just got this feeling we're going to show up. I think it's going to play into our hands. I think we might finally win a penalty.
Okay.
I'm going to go 1-0 United.
Oh, I had 2-1 Kouassi dialed in. Watch that happen now.
2-1 Kouassi.
That's what I had dialed in, but I've officially, because I'm a man of my word, principled man, as you know.
Yeah.
I've made it 2-0 Notts County. Don't laugh at that. 2-0 Notts County.
I'll go 1-0 Kai. Who would take our pens though? I assume Kai. Have we had one yet?
Oh, it's a scary thought that.
Yeah. Interesting. No natural penalty taker, it feels like in there. I don't know, Lavery maybe?
Probably Lavery.
I guess.
I tell you what, if you're right, mate, I'll buy you Skepasti the next home game if that's right, mate.
Thanks, mate. That's a lovely place to plug our sponsors, the Old Spring. If you're not coming to the game Saturday, you can obviously head down to the Old Spring and enjoy a match day meal, even though the user away from home, and happy hour between 6 and 7. Reminder at this point as well to be part of the coconut tier before you've got a week left to be a coconut tier member, to be part of the live draw for our hospitality competition, giving away 2 hospitality tickets for Grimsby at home on the 4th of January, which I'm really looking forward to doing on the pod when the name mattcaspell@gmail.com comes out.
Mr. Schnrub.
Mr. Schrub. But anyway, you got to head to undertheabbeystand.com to sign up there. It's just £5 a month. We don't have to plug the FSAs anymore, Caspell. Thanks everyone who voted for us. We'll find out in the next few weeks. And that's it. Let's have a good day Saturday.
Well, that's always a given and Notts, right?
Always a given.
Just such a good away day. Just so many good pubs in such a tight geography.
What's your favourite one?
Well, it's the Old Spring in Cambridge, mate.
Yeah, correct.
Favourite pub, Old Spring in Cambridge. Mate, they're all good. There's that one with the moat in, like it's got like a, with like a windmill in. That's great.
The oldest pub in England, the oldest Jerusalem, right? I think so. Not that one, different one.
Right, we're going there.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of group chat about specific pubs, which is unusual, I would say. But
usually it's stumble out of a station, look at the
where the spoons.
First one you can see.
Where's spoons? No, I don't want a real ale pub. Get me to spoons.
All right, brilliant. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you soon.